Hi, my friends. Happy Saturday. Welcome back to another Chit Chat Live from East Texas. I hope you guys doing amazing. I'm DC Gomez. I'm your host. I have started this series almost a year now because I really wanted to motivate people. I wanted to inspire people. I wanted to help people dream again and be able to follow what they wanted. So I wanted to give you this series to give you tips, information, and tools that you can use. And they're very practical. So today we're going to talk all about defining success. What is success? What does it mean to you and how can you apply it? But before we do, what I want you guys to do, if you have a minute, go ahead, give this video a like, invite somebody to watch with us, go ahead, share it. We all grow faster and better if we do it together. So I have a few announcements. Actually, I have one big announcement before we get started. I'm doing a very special Facebook Live today at 12:30. So if you're around, if you just want to jump in the page again, I'm going to be talking to the amazing and talented Miss Daniela Nica, who is an international speaker. She is a builder, a coach, a mentor, and I'm kind of very grateful that she's also my mentor. But we're going to be talking all about her upcoming summit. So she has a 7-day free summit that is going to be taking place. It is all about monetizing your genius. And I love this title. So if you are a speaker, trainer, coach, if you are an author, by the way, you are a speaker as well, just in case you weren't sure, check it out. The summit is free. It is 7 days. She has over 50 amazing experts. And by the way, I'm not saying it because I'm one of them, just because I have been checking out her lineup. It's incredible. I'm going to be taking place. So the link is right there on the page. Take a look at it. It's going to give you some amazing tools and tips how to get your business off the ground. So if you're finding yourself being a little stuck, and you're not sure what you need to be doing, she has some incredible information that she's providing. So she's going to join us today at 12:30 again. So we're going to talk all about the upcoming summit, what to expect, and kind of her passion. Daniela is so contagious in what she does. So it's going to get you all sorts of excited. So tickets are right there. Go look at the link. I'm also going to have the link on my page. So if you're interested. So that's kind of the big things. So this year I told everybody I have started it with a blast. I have been doing all sorts of fun things behind the scene, trying to get everything moving because it's all about following your passion. It's following your dreams. It's following success. So if I'm going to talk about it, I want to lead from the front. So some of the things that I have been doing is collaborating. So I have met up with Daniela. So she invited me to be part of the summit. I've also partnered up with the Author Encounter. So we're getting ready to do different workshops. We're going to redo the workshop we had scheduled for yesterday here in March. So we're going to do a March Madness coming up. The ladies at the Author Encounter are amazing. They have some incredible things going on. So if you are an author, you're interested, check it out. Membership is free for authors. Anybody else who wants to patron, who wants to join, it's only like $25 a year. So you get to be part of a whole bunch of amazing events that they put out, promotion as well for authors, and be able to connect to another community. So as I continue to grow through this year, it's all about how do we build these partnerships? How do we build these connections? And how do we keep building the tribe? Also as well, if you're interested, because I'm still an author, one of the things I'm trying to do, because remember, I'm trying to define what it is it means for me to be success. So I'm going to give you a little bit tips. If you're interested in getting more connected, my newsletters are coming out, and one of the things I'm trying to do is actually be able to give anybody who joins a free short story. So my link is also on the page. Take a look at it. So you guys ready to start? We're all going to talk about success. Success, if you're looking at the definition in the dictionary, is very simple. It says achieving a game or a purpose. We know what it means. But when we think back of what it means to us, if you seriously consider, are you successful? 75% of the people that I talk to will kind of wishy-washy about it. They'll kind of give me this look like, well, kind of, sort of, and they're very vague. You know, they might feel successful at their work or maybe at home, at their community organizations. But as a whole, when they think of success, it's hard for people to define it. So if I ask you guys right now, take a couple minutes to think about it. Do you think you're successful? Honestly, just by the way, there is no right or wrong answer. You can do this on your own. And if you want to tell me, that's great. You don't have to worry about it. Do you think you're successful? One of the things that I've realized is most people, if you ask them what success means to them, they haven't defined it. It's very hard to say what a success means. So here's the problem. Unless you define what it means, it's really hard to know if you achieve it. So let me give you kind of my world epiphany aha moment that happened to me when I started out as an author. One of my things that I wanted to achieve and remember, I have these huge ideas that I wanted to do. I wanted to be an international known author. That was my thing. I wanted people outside of the country to know who I was. So that was my goal. That's what I was aiming for. So fast forward a couple of years, I've been working at this. I've sold books everywhere. I have been to tons of conferences. I have a newsletter going out. And finally, I get emails back that I have readers in Ireland. I have readers in the UK. Well, I have readers in Australia, which is amazing. I even have people listening to my podcast in Russia. Amazing. Here's the problem. I wasn't very happy because truly what I wanted, let's be honest, we all have bigger ideas. I wanted to be known internationally by thousands and thousands of people. Here's a small problem. I never said that. That was not one of the things that I'm a true believer put out to the universe. If you believe in God, if you believe in the universe, what is it that you're putting out there? I never said that. I never actually said I wanted thousands and thousands of people outside of the country to know me. I said I wanted to be an internationally known. So by definition, if you have people outside the country, then I achieved that. But it fell small. So one of the main things we do every day is that we set dreams and hopes for ourselves, and we set them very small. The worst thing that can happen to any of us is to achieve a dream or goal that is tiny, because it feels kind of empty. It feels very half done. And that's kind of what I felt, and I couldn't figure out what happened. So one of my good friends tells me all the time, so you're mad because you got what you wanted, but it wasn't in the wrapping you were looking for. That's kind of the reality. When it comes to success, we have to be specific in what we're looking for, and we have to be realistic with ourselves. I know a lot of talented and creative people every day who have amazing dreams. They have amazing goals. But every day, my friends, they sabotage themselves. What do? This is how it starts, because success, like anything else, is a mindset. You guys all know I'm a mindset coach. I'm all about people believing in their dreams. I'm all about people knowing that they're meant to be successful. What a lot of the things people do, and we talked a little bit about before, is they're afraid not even of so much failure, but success. They're afraid of surpassing the people in their lives. They're terrified that the people that they know and love will judge them. Think about it. Think of people you know, or even yourself. A lot of people we know believe they're successful because they did a little bit better than their parents. And that was it. They were excited about that. Because if they do outside bigger and greater things, what are people going to think? Oh my God, you're not humble enough. What are they going to say about me? They're not going to like me. So we have a lot of people that sabotage themselves. They single-handedly have in the back of their mind this belief system that they're not meant to be successful. And if it happens, they treat it as an accident. They absolutely talk about it. Oh my God, is it really going to be happening? Is it absolutely going to be taking place? So it's one of the things that you're going to be surprised. You're going to be truly surprised that your mindset is going to dictate exactly what you're driving. So, I mentioned at the beginning that we have a summit coming up. This is a great time to actually jump in there. If you're thinking what success means, and, my mentor, Daniela Nika, has been teaching that, but she teaches mindset a lot. Because one of the things you have to realize is, first, you have to believe that you're meant to be successful. First, you have to believe that it's supposed to happen and that you are entitled to have it. A lot of people don't. They work all their lives, and most people we know will work all their lives at a job. You're going to get a paycheck, you're going to work for retirement, and yet they don't believe they can do better than that because they just kind of settle. So defining what it means to you and define it into terms that is realistic to you. It takes a little while to grow outside of space. It takes a little while for us to truly get comfortable being a tad bit uncomfortable. It takes a little while for us to believe that we're meant to do bigger than what we are. And sometimes that means, believe it or not, my friends, going outside your bubble of scope, going outside the people that know you to understand. Because success is something that only you can define. So as I continue to define my little bubble in terms of my author career, I have to be realistic with myself. What is it that I really wanted? What is it meant to be successful as an author? I have a lot of mentees that I train. One of the things I ask them is, what does success mean to you? It's like, I just want people to read my books. And when I ask them, it's like, so 2 people read your book, are you good? Like, well, no. It's like, what does that mean? Be specific. What is people? What is that number of people? Because people can be anything, guys. Anything as a whole. What does success mean to you? So you have your own business, or you're going back to school, or you decided to change career. How do you know if you're successful? Have you thought about it? Have you defined it for yourself? I have a lot of people that said, I want to go back to school. Great. What are you going to do? As adults, remember, we need a why. We need a purpose. We're not, as kids, we don't just go back to school just to take classes. Most people don't, believe it or not. That's not something we enjoy. We always need a purpose. We need to know what is going to be in it for me. That's kind of one of those learning methods. We need to know what we're going to get out of this. So when you're thinking of your success, if you do something in your life, think back, what are you trying to get? What is this going to do for you? So if going back to school is one of your goals, is graduation means you're successful, is getting a job after your graduation means you have to be specific. So one of the things I want to share, because I'm all about giving you some tips, right? One of my favorite websites is called lifehack.org. They have tips about everything and anything, and they're very, very practical. So as I was doing kind of research, and what is the website going to tell us? What is Google? What is everything out there says? Because there's thousands and thousands of books about success. There's thousands and thousands of books out there and articles and blogs. They all talk about being successful and what it takes and kind of the traits that they have and characteristics of it. What does that mean? So one of the things that I kind of really enjoy is I'm going to give you some tips from Life.org. So we're going to go through them together and see what you guys think. As we go through this, remember, if you have any questions, concerns, put them in the comments, because I'm kind of looking at it. I'm watching who is joining us, so I'm excited you guys are here. Put some comments. If you're watching the replay, put some comments as well. I'm going to go back throughout the week and answer your questions. So let's look at what life hack can say. So the very first one, think big. This is the one, my friends, that as I told you, this is the lesson that I truly had to learn the hard way. I wasn't thinking big enough. When I set my goals and ideas, big was not something I had thought about. I was so much more concerned and afraid of what people were going to say. You know, I had taken on a new career, I had taken on a new business. I was just very happy, like most people, that somebody was going to like my books. I wanted somebody to read my books. Someone read my books and they liked it, then I didn't believe it. So when you're thinking of success, you have to think big. You have to embrace it, and you have to be able to know that you're meant to have it. So look at number 2. Find what you love and do it. I joke with a lot of people who have known me for a while. I usually tell everybody, you know, I am an author that freelance for a while as a federal employee. I kind of joke about it. One of the things that finds out is if you're going to be successful, you have to be happy in what you do. And this sounds kind of odd because we're always thinking of you're supposed to be moving up the career ladder, whatever ladder that might be. You're supposed to get promoted, you're supposed to make management, you're supposed to achieve all these things. But if those things are not what you truly want, it's not what in your soul, it's not what calls you to it, it doesn't matter how high you go up in the ladder. It doesn't matter how much you achieve. It never feels fulfilling just because it doesn't make you happy. It took me a long time, and I say it all the time. It took me a good 15 years to come back home. It took me that long of a time to come back to that place where I'm excited every day. I'm excited about writing. I tell everybody, you know, we're getting ready to give out a free short story just because I can. Why? Because I love to write. I really do. I love to write. I love to share with people, and I love to share with my readers. So I had to get back in my own groove. I had to go find my own space, and I had to be comfortable with it. And it's not something that's for everybody. So what is all about is what makes you happy. Look at number 3. Learn how to balance life. For the longest time, I honestly thought I needed a work-life balance. This is what was my number 1. I needed to have this in proportion. What I found out, and one of my mentors pointed out, balance is almost impossible to achieve. Why? Because at any given time in your life, some things are going to take priority. You know, at this point in time, I'm getting ready to start editing audiobooks. I'm pretty sure I could hire somebody, but I like editing, let's be honest. I'm a little bit into pain. I enjoy editing. So what happened was I realized that I'm not going to be writing as much. So that's going to take a back seat. And that's okay. So our lives rotate based on the needs that we have. So it doesn't have to be a balance of like 50% we do work, 25% we do. That's not what it means. It's finding your flow. So when you find your balance, is being very aware that you still need to take care of your body, you still need to take care of your mind and your spirit, and as well as your business, your finances, whatever you're looking at it. It's taking care of you in whichever proportion that means. It doesn't mean all those things are going to be balanced at the same time. Sometimes, depending on what you're working on, something's going to take priority. And be okay with that. Just realize that it has to be comfortable with your own style and skills. and be okay with that part. It's taking me a while to realize I'm an extremist. It's all or nothing. So I'm having to learn very carefully is where's my balance fall and how to get it, my flow to fall into place. So look at number 4. Do not be afraid of failure. I'm all about embracing failure, but switch the idea of it. Every time we think of failure is we did something and it didn't work and we're so traumatized and we're so upset. That's not what it's all about. If you think of failure as a student, think of a learning experience. Think of what you can get out of it. Because what happens is when we think of failure, we think of a whole project completely down the drain. Embrace it on what you learn. Truly look at it like Edison when he was trying to do the light bulb. He didn't think of how many times he failed. He figured out how many times it takes not to do a light bulb that way. So when you're thinking of embracing failure, think about it. What can I get out of this experience? How can I learn? How can I grow? How can I get it better? So as you guys continue to join us, thank you so much for your comments. Start thinking about it. Can you embrace failure? Failure is something that you have done. Is it something that you're okay with it? And how are you looking at it? Because it's all about mindset. We're all about mindset change. Look at number 5. Have an unwavering resolution to succeed. How often do we start something and let it go by this? How often are we so close to actually achieving our dreams, but because it got hard, we stop? Unwavering belief of success, truly knowing what it is that you want and working for it is the key. You also have to realize what you're working for might not be the same as everybody else. So do not judge your success, your definition of success, on other people's standards. And that's usually the hard part. One of the hardest things for me to understand is what my definition was. Am I judging my success based on my readership or how much money I was making in the bank with the books? What is success? So when you decided what it is and you define it and you're going for it, it has to be yours and nobody else's, or else it's not going to make sense. Let's jump over to number 6. Be a person of action. Ooh, friends, this is hard for some people. So here's something that I learned. Talking about something will give you the same gratification as actually doing it. So if you're a person that enjoys talking and discussing plans and you love, analyzing things, you are getting the same high as actually getting it done. The problem with that is you're never going to get it done. So sometimes, experts tell you, hey, if you're trying to motivate yourself to do something, announce it to the world. That's great. But it could also have a setback. You can actually announce it to the world and then never get anything done. So be a person who actually means following through. If you say you're going to go tackle the hill, go tackle the hill. If you say your success means you're going to start your own business, take the steps to start your own business. You have to actually do something. It's not going to happen by its own. I wish. There is no magic pill. There is no easy button that's going to get you what you need. So you got to do it. Let's jump over to number 7. By the way, there is actually 13 of these things that they put together, so it's kind of fun. So cultivate positive relationships. We have talked before, and this is one of my favorite ones. We all know what I call dream assassins. Absolutely. We all know those people, those devil advocates. By the way, the devil does not need an advocate. We don't need those people in our lives. We all know these people who you're going to tell them your story. You're going to be excited about it. You're passionate about it. You're trying to get all going. They're like, but do you really think it's going to work? And for whatever reason, that little puff completely destroys our enthusiasm. We completely lose track of what we do. We completely lose track that this is our dream, not theirs. This is our passion. This is what we want. So you have to surround yourself with a positive environment. You have to surround yourself with people that are going to lift you, that are going to motivate you. You need those people in your life. That's kind of the catch. So one of my mentors says, Paul Martinelli, what I love, he has the saying that says, God or the universe, whichever one you prefer, is never going to give you an idea that he's not going to give you the resources to do it. It's not going to happen. So if you have an idea, you might not know the how, still go through it because the resources are going to come. The steps are going to happen. You should have to be willing to do it. So let's jump over to number 8. Let's see. Don't be afraid of introducing to new ideas. This is hard. If you are a person who's very set in your ways, if you are a person who's very comfortable in routines, new ideas are a little challenging. This is a tricky part, my friends. This is the part that Honestly, you literally have to be able to step outside your comfort zone. And remember, growth happens stepping outside of the comfort zone. So new things that you would never seen possible, new things that you haven't tried. It's like trying a new dish somewhere. Most of us go to the same restaurant every time and we get the same dish. We're safe. We're safe in our comfort zone if we don't want to expand. It also kind of keeps us stuck a little. So when you're thinking of success, think of things outside the box. What got you to your place now is not going to get you there. If you ever heard of that, it's not going to get you to the next level. It is something you have to start doing. And it takes practice. As I read the comments, is it a challenge? It is a challenge, my friends. Here's the part. Start small. Because like many things in our lives, we want to do things huge. And if you know me for a little while, I'm going to say one to the other. If you're going to publish a book, I'm going to publish 10. If you're going to do something, the problem comes into place is you have to train yourself. Like everything else, it comes with practice. It's like a muscle. So if you're not used to trying new things and going outside your comfort zone, start small. Simple things like, believe it or not, taking a different route to work might actually stretch you because it's something that you're programming yourself. You're reprogramming yourself to look at things differently. You're looking at new ideas, trying a new dish, making a new recipe, little things like that. Because the goal is for you to start looking at your world differently and help you to achieve those things. So let's jump to number 9. Take a look at this one. Believe in your capacity to succeed. In case you realize, I am all about belief. This is one of my drums that I need to beat on every time. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you do or you don't do, my friends. If you don't believe in yourself, success is very empty. A lot of the times we settle. We don't think we can do this. We have been programmed over and over, and I'm an immigrant. You guys know this. I grew up in Dominican Republic, moved to the States. And if you listen to the statistics, I shouldn't be here. By default, this little Dominican girl should not be here. Why? I didn't know English. It was a second language. I was not in the school. When I started, I had to take ESL. So you had all these impediments. But if we listen to the programs, we can get stuck there, my friends. If you don't believe you're meant to be somewhere better, if you listen to what people said, well, do you honestly think you can do that? You know where you come from. What does that mean? So when you're thinking of success, the key is to believe that you're meant to be there. The key is to believe that you're meant to succeed and that you will succeed. First, mindset. You got to shift it, you got to believe it, and you got to think and know that you belong there. Take a look at number 10. Always maintain a positive attitude. This is the one that most people kind of get tricky because they truly wonder, is it I'm going to be positive all the time? It doesn't mean you are not realistic. That's the catch. It doesn't mean you have this unrealistic expectations that nothing bad is going to happen. That's not the case. Let's be honest. Life happens. Just remember 2020. Life happens. It is not about positive attitudes, not about when we're thinking about being blind to things, but looking at every situation in your life as a possibility, an opportunity, not just a challenge. Because we all have challenges. What we do with the challenges is what's going to transform our lives, is what changes how we see the world. So when you're thinking of a positive mental attitude, it is truly looking at things that is going to empower you. Everybody kind of laughs at me because I'm super positive. Like my glass is always full and overflowing, and I think life is great. I also laugh a lot, and it drives people kind of insane because they're going, and I have all this energy, and they're like, what? But I'm truly a believer that things are meant to happen. I'm truly a believer that the Lord wants to bless me, that I'm supposed to be blessed, that I'm supposed to be a blessing to others, that if I meet you, my goal is to leave you better than you were. It is a mindset. I had to get there. I had to teach myself there. I had to know and believe that these things are true for myself. So when you're thinking about it, you can change it like anything else. Everybody says, you can't teach an old new tricks. We're not dogs, so that doesn't apply. Don't buy that stuff. So let's jump over. What is number 11? Don't let discouragement stop you. We're all going to be discouraged, my friends. It is going to happen. We're all going to be disappointed at one point in time. We're all going to have stuff that keep us down. My mom has a rule, and sometimes people laugh because I tell them, it's like my mom gives me, you get 2 days for a pity party. And I have told this story to a lot of people. My good girlfriend told me yesterday because she came over, we were talking, and she said, I keep listening to your mom in my head. I was like, really? You met my mother? It's like, I remember the story you told me. You told me I had 2 days to have a pity party. I was like, okay. It's like, that's not enough time. It didn't work. And she was very upset until I reminded her, saying, but it got you out of bed. She goes, oh, like, you don't think it worked because you're still kind of upset, but it got you moving and got you thinking because you said, I got 2 days. We all going to face these things. It's natural. Do not suppress your emotions. Understand this is going to happen. What you can't do is stay there. That's the catch. You can't stay in that funk. You can't stay in that pit. You cannot allow yourself to completely fall apart because one bad thing happened. Because they're always going to happen. Embrace it. Understand it. If you need to cry, cry. I'm a crier. Cry. And then find a way to move on. So embrace it and then continue to move on. So look at number 12. Be willing to work hard. This is the one that I realize most people don't want to do. Let's be honest. How many get rich quick schemes have you seen everywhere? I got a new friend request recently and the guy was like really nice and he goes, hey, did you get your $50,000 Facebook is sending you? And I'm like, what? First of all, Facebook's not going to send you any money. All I get from Facebook is bills. Hey, send me some money for your ads. There is no get rich quick. There is no quick pill to anything. That's not what life is about. Be willing to work. The fun part is, believe it or not, if you're doing something you enjoy, work does not seem so painful. It doesn't seem so hard. I usually get questions from everybody. You do so much. It doesn't feel like it for me. This is the hard part. I enjoy what I do. They ask me, what do you do for fun? I'm like, everything I do is fun because I enjoy it. It is not going to be fun for other people. I am in my happy spot. I am in my happy place. Writing makes me happy. So when you're thinking about it, hard work doesn't have to be bad work. It just has to be work in the things that you enjoyed. And then you will do it. You're not even going to think about it. When your dreams and goals becomes your burning desires, as Napoleon Hill says in his book, Think and Grow Rich, when it becomes your burning platform, you're not even going to think about it. You're going to do everything you can to achieve these dreams because you love it. So think about it that way. So let's jump over to 12. What is number 12? Be brave enough to follow your intuition. Ooh, actually, technically this is 13. I'm sorry, can't count today. So number 13. This is the one that I realize we tend to compromise. Our intuition comes in different places. You can talk about it like that's the voice of God talking to you. Whichever way you want to feel it, is a small whisper. I get gut feelings, like if something doesn't feel right, I'm like, I'm getting very good at slowing down. If it doesn't feel right, I try not to make a jump at it. I try to let it simmer and marinate. And believe it or not, it tends to work out for the best. But we tend to compromise. We are always listening to people. We have lots of people, a lot of dream assassins giving us advice. A lot of things we do, instead of going with what we know and following those advices, we listen to them. We listen to their advice. We listen to what they're trying to tell us. And a lot of times you find yourself going, I should have done this way. It's like, think back when you were in school. They tell you it's like the first gut instinct for the answers is the one you should go. Don't double guess it. It's the same thing. Follow your intuition. Follow that gut feeling and believe it. If it's trying to direct you the right way. Sometimes we have to, if we don't know, then yes, go find some research. Don't just jump in there. Do some research. I'm big into research and kind of figuring it out. But also listen to yourself. Listen to what your gut is telling you. Listen to what your heart is telling you. It is your dreams and only you can get you there. So what I'm quickly going to do, if you need to take a quick screenshot of them, if not, go into their site, look for lifehack.org. They have 13 steps to tips to help you to be successful and kind of what successful people do. So you can take a screenshot if you're looking at it. If you're watching the replay, stop it, take a picture. It's all good. It is all about how to be it. So remember, first you got to define it. What does success means to you, my friends? What is it specifically going to take for you to achieve that? Be realistic in terms of what you want. Don't settle because you think it's too big. There's no such thing as too big. Everybody says, aim for the stars, and if you don't make it, you're going to hit the moon. Aim big. It is your life. It is your dream. It is your passion. Don't settle. And then be able to start thinking about it. What do I need to do to get there? Every little step is consistently going to get you closer to your dreams. That's what it is. It's all about incremental steps to get you where you need to be. So go ahead, my friends, make sure that you're absolutely following your dreams. Like usual, it has been a pleasure to be with you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me. All the comments, guys, I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm glad you guys are talking to each other. I'm glad you joined me today. It is exciting. So if you have any questions, again, make sure you give me a comment. If you have any concerns, make sure you share this video. Invite other people to join us. We'll be back again in 2 weeks. I know January has 5 weeks, so we're going to have an extra program this month. We're going to kind of come back together, get us ready to start thinking of success and kind of things that we can do to get us there every day. Like usual, I'm going to give you one more time. If you're looking to attend the summit, 26th of January through the 2nd of February, 7 days, free. Go ahead and join. And if you're not interested in joining, you know somebody who will, share this link with them. It's going to be on my page as well. And I hope you guys have a great time. So thank you so much. Have an amazing Saturday. Hopefully it's not cold where you're at. And I'll see you guys again in 2 weeks. Know that I believe in you. Know that I have faith. Know that you're doing amazing. Bye, guys.